I still remember the day she walked away, not because it was loud or chaotic, but because it wasn't. There was no screaming, no broken glass or slamming doors, just the kind of silence that crawls into your bones and stays there. She stood by the door, suitcase at her side, coat in hand, and her eyes never once met mine. She didn't need to explain. I could see it in her posture, the slump of her shoulders, the absence of hope. Her silence said everything. All I could do was breathe in and give the faintest nod. There was no fight left in either of us. The love we once shared, the laughter, the shared inside jokes, they were all gone, quietly packed away along with her clothes. But one thing she didn't take was my self-worth. I held on to that. I had to. I didn't stop her. I didn't cry, plead, or ask her to stay. The truth is, I already knew she was gone long before she physically left. I had felt her fading away, one conversation, one distant look, one night of cold silence at a time. And so I let her go. No dramatic goodbyes. No final kiss. Just me, grabbing my jacket, walking out of the house in the opposite direction, too numb to feel anything. The days that followed blurred together. My appetite vanished. Sleep eluded me, and the house felt like a hollow shell. I spent my night staring at the ceiling, counting all the little cracks in it, like they were clues to how things had fallen apart. I tried to fill the void, gym sessions, long hours at work, casual dates. But none of it stuck. I was going through the motions. Everyone said I was handling it well, that I was strong. What they didn't see were the nights I reached for my phone, halfway through typing a message to her, only to delete it and toss the phone aside. She was gone, and I had to accept that. Eventually I did. At least I thought I had. I stopped looking for her name in my notifications. I stopped walking past places we used to go. I convinced myself that I had moved on, even though there was still a quiet ache that never really left. Then the anniversary came. 1 year to the day. I had even written the date in a journal. 1 year. I made it. It was just another evening. I was in sweatpants, cooking dinner, music low in the background, thinking about nothing in particular. And then there was a knock. It was soft, hesitant, familiar in a way that made the hairs on my neck stand up. I opened the door, and there she was. I almost didn't recognize her. Her hair was longer, her eyes red and swollen. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her coat hung on her like a burden too heavy to carry. She didn't speak right away. Neither did I. Then, in a voice just above a whisper, she said, "I didn't know where else to go." Everything rushed back. Our wedding, our late-night talks. That first time she fell asleep in my arms. I stood frozen, overwhelmed by the ghost of a life I thought I had buried. She stepped inside without asking. I didn't stop her. She sat at the table, in the seat she used to love, and quietly she said, "I made a mistake." I didn't respond. Not right away. There was nothing I could say that wouldn't reopen the wounds I'd spent a year healing. She kept talking. I thought I needed something different. Something new. But he wasn't you. No one is. Her hand trembled as she pulled a folded piece of paper from her coat pocket. The creases were deep, like it had been read and refolded 100 times. "I wrote this months ago," she said, not looking at me. I just couldn't bring myself to send it. It was a letter, a real one, pen on paper, an apology, a confession, full of pain, of sleepless nights, of the way she still wore my old hoodie around the house, how she kept hearing my voice in quiet. When I looked up from the words, her tears had started to fall. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," she said, "but I needed you to know, and if there's even a sliver of hope." She couldn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. A year ago, I would have grabbed her hand and never let go. I would have given anything for this moment. But I wasn't that man anymore. I had survived the storm. I had rebuilt myself, slowly, painfully. I had learned to stand alone. "I don't hate you," I said gently. She nodded. Her tears kept falling, but I saw something else in her eyes now. Acceptance. "I forgave you a long time ago," I added, voice calm. "But I'm not who I was, and neither are you. We're not the same people who once promised forever. We're strangers now. She nodded again, sobbing quietly. She stood slowly and walked to the door. Her steps were heavier now, as if she finally understood the weight of everything she had lost. At the doorway, she turned back. "I'll always love you," she said, barely audible. I smiled, not bitterly, but with a sad kind of peace. "And I'll always remember you," I replied. Then she was gone, just like that. No promises, no someday, no second chances. Just the quiet close of a chapter. Not every love story ends in betrayal or hate. Some end in reflection, in quiet growth, in letting go. I didn't take her back, not because I stopped loving her, but because I finally remember how to love myself.